Always thinking about someone doesn't always mean loving them. In some cases, it's just a strong feeling of pity, or even worse, hatred towards someone. When a person is ruled by an idea, he finds it in everything, Victor Hugo believed. He wishes for my head. The heart he has had already in his hands. It did not satisfy him. The body, well, what is the body? That's no man's real goal at all. But my head, thoughts, and ability to influence, evoke emotions, feed on them, use them to work. That's yes, adds Martha Ketro, an Israeli writer. That's often the case, but here's the question: do you need it? Out of sight, out of mind, the proverb says. What a pity that this rule does not work in reality, and we think about someone even if we do not see them in front of us, and maybe not even know the person. And the more we want to get rid of thoughts about someone, the harder it is. One day, a wicked, ugly man named Jafar, who was known and disliked in the whole neighborhood, came to the wise Khoja Nasreddin. "Make me beautiful," he demanded from the wise man. "Everyone talks about you as a great man who can do everything. If you'll fulfill my request, I'll reward you generously. And if not, beware. You'll regret that you were born." Nasreddin accepted to help him, although he knew that it was impossible. Nevertheless, at the agreed time, he invited the moneylender and his relatives to his house to pray with them for the bestowal of beauty to their relative. "However, I have one important requirement. Think of a white monkey that is writhing in front of you. It has yellow fangs, a hideous face, and a long tail. Can you imagine it? Now, forget about it. Now we're going to start praying together, and you must never think of the white monkey, or Jafar will remain ugly and hunchbacked for life. Now, let's start." Nasreddin threw a blanket over Jafar and told him to walk around the fire, and he himself started reading prayers, demanding that everyone repeat after him. But the relatives kept getting confused, mixing up words, and Jafar himself stopped several times, trying, like everyone else, to get the thoughts of the white monkey out of his head. Khoja Nasreddin pretended to be angry. "It won't work," he said, stopping the ritual. "One of you is always thinking about a white monkey." He turned around and left, and the moneylender and his relatives argued with each other for a long time to find out who was thinking about the white monkey and screwed everything up. The point of this parable is simple. If you let someone live in your mind, it doesn't mean you need or care about that person. Maybe he's just a white monkey, which is hard to get rid of. However, if these thoughts are not harmful to you and your health, do nothing with them. Sometimes it is important for a person to think about it, not to get out of his own thoughts about someone for a while, so that everything can be reasoned with common sense and accept the final result. Usually the brightest thoughts, caused by emotions, gradually pale, fade, and disappear altogether, like light clouds in a blue sky. It is much worse if those clouds gather in a storm. The thoughts turn into serious depression, and the person feels helpless in the situation. When does this happen? First of all, when breaking up for any length of time or forever, and also after a serious fight, when you stop talking to each other, but force of circumstances continue to see each other and somehow interact. Or if you were badly hurt by someone, or maybe fell in love with a person, but they rejected you. All of these are very good reasons to think about someone all the time. Or maybe it's time to remember Margaret Mitchell, who said in the words of Scarlett O'Hara, "There's so much to think about. Why fill your head with things you can't bring back? And think of things you can change." Doesn't that make sense? And here is what Friedrich Nietzsche said on this subject. It's only the thoughts, and not external circumstances, that make a person unhappy or happy. By controlling one's thoughts, they control happiness. We can all understand this, But we don't see that the most important secret remains invisible, like a pitfall. If we are constantly thinking about someone, it means that this gives us a kind of pleasure that compensates for the pain in our soul. Do you still think about her? It happens. A lot, a little in the morning, a little in the afternoon, a little in the evening, a little at night. That's a quote from the French novelist Marc Levy's book, Meeting Again. What if it's the same for you? What if you are unable to cope with yourself, and certified psychologists can't help you either? Then there is only one healer to wait for, stern and ruthless in its rightness. And the name of it is time. If someone is always in your thoughts, it means the person has left you indifferent. But do you need it?